Good morning, y'all. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you on. How y'all doing on today? I'm gonna get some food and going for my family for the dinner today. Come on in, come on in. Good morning. Good morning to you. How do you do? Did you sleep good last night? Was your body snug good tight? Did you rest like you should? Does your body feel good? Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. How do you do? Did you sleep good last night? Was your body snug or tight? Did you rest like you should? Does your body feel good? Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. How do you do? Did you sleep good last night? Was your body snug or tight? Did you rest like you should? Does your body feel good? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing on this fine, blessed day, honey? It's Monday, as the song say, and we slept the night away, honey. It's morning, and we slept the night away. It happened. Now we can't turn back the hands of time. Yes, we slept and we slumbered, but we forgot to face one simple fact. We all belong to God above. As we slept the night away, it's morning. Sunlight shines across your sleeping face. A new day brings reality, and we must give God praise. What a lovely night we had last night. As we slept the night away. Okay, I'm gonna stop. We forgot about all the bills we had to pay. As we slept the night away. As we lay, we forgot about tomorrow. As we lay. Hey, y'all, come on in. We're going to make some meatloaf. Meatloaf Monday. And we're going to do some mashed potatoes. I got green beans going on behind me. So in my meatloaf, I'm going to push y'all back so y'all can see me and the meatloaf, okay? Come on in, share. Tell a friend, sprinkle, sprinkle. My dear sweethearts, I love y'all. Yes, I do. And we're gonna get started. We're gonna let it do what it do. Thank God for restoration. Honey, raise your hands and restoration will begin. I thank him because I still battle the cold of it. So we're going to add a little onions, right? Because I don't know about you, but I love onions. You ain't got to use all of them, but get a good bit of onions in your meatloaf. The next thing I like bell pepper. Let me find them. Hold on. And I let somebody else help me do the work. And I like bell peppers in mine. So we're going to put us some bell peppers in here. Come on in. Can y'all see me? Hey, Cheryl, Monique. Can y'all see me pretty good? You know, one store cuts my stuff up like I really like it. And the other one, they cut them a little too big. Just a squishy bit. Trying to see what I did with my knife. There it is. So we got bell peppers. I like multiple color bell peppers. I like the multicolor. All right. I can handle this knife. Just a couple of them is too big. Hold on. All right. All right. It was just a couple. Now, I use my everything green. Thank God for my healing, and I'm still trying to get over it, but I'm doing good. That's why I got, that's why I only have right now, I only have lemon squares and brownies, because I let Queen make them. I don't want to be around nobody cakes and nothing while I'm sick. And if you're supposed to get a cake from me, you'll get it. Now, when you get it, you're going to get it. But you may not, I don't know if it'll get there on Christmas or before Christmas. I'm going to do my best to work on the cakes that I'm supposed to work on. That was my everything green. I may have a few bottles left. I don't have very many. I like to use a combination of stuff inside mine. So I always still use my pepper. Okay. Don't go crazy. I love to use me a little A1. Let me see if I got my packet that I use too. Hold on. A little A1 in mine. I use a couple of drops of Dale seasoning. That's why I don't put a bunch of salt in mine. Because Dale has salt. So you have to be careful. If your packets or anything got salt in it, you don't want to lean heavy because ketchup got salt in it too. I don't know who calling me, but they're going to have to wait. Okay. I love my McCormick meatloaf packet. This every time I use this, God rest his soul, and it's hard to say that, but I think about my cousin Dexter Shaw. That was a good guy, and he always told me, don't you forget to put the McCormick season packet. Now I'm about to cry over my cousin. Don't forget to use the McCormick season packet. Grandma, this come from his granny. And so she made the best meatloaf in the world to me. And she always put a McCormick meatloaf packet. McCormick have a lot of good packets that you can use in their stuff to make it taste real good. They even got spaghetti packets. And then I like to use that's why you notice I ain't using no salt. And I like to use Lipton beef and onion. But I just got a little moment there for a minute. Got caught up, Dexter. Leave me alone. So his granny always used it, and that's the #1 ingredient. He used to tell me, don't you leave that out, whatever you do. All right? And then I like to use breadcrumbs. Do y'all use breadcrumbs? I do. And I love the Italian breadcrumbs. All right? 2 eggs. This is a lot of ground beef, by the way. I don't know if I'm gonna make a loaf up and cook it today and save a loaf and put it in the freezer. depending on how I feel. So all Ed has to do is take it out and put it in a I just may make, this is like 3 pounds or 3.5 pounds of ground beef. Okay. So y'all see what all I put in it so far? So far I got, I'll show y'all. I got a beef Lipton onion soup mix packet, McCormick's meatloaf, everything green made by me, A1, pepper, onions, bell peppers. You can see they once was there. Proof, evidence. And a little dill. All right. Now I'm going to take me a couple of slices of and all those things I use got salt in it, so you don't have to ride the salt. Plus the ketchup gonna have some salt in it. So I'm gonna get me a couple of slices of this here light bread. That's what we call it. We call it light bread. I don't know what y'all call it. You gonna use the butt and get it on out the way, cause ain't nobody using the butt anyway. So give me a couple of slices of these, and then I'm gonna also use me a couple of slices of this hamburger buns. You can crumble you up some saltine crackers if you want to. Some people put oatmeal in theirs. Hey, Jai, I love you. I love you, Rodney Jackson. I love you, Jai Johnson. Some people use oatmeal in theirs. I don't. I feel like I can find, just like some people use, see, this is getting stale. Some people use, help me, Holy Ghost. Some people use cereal on top of their, macaroni and cheese for the crunch. Have y'all ever heard of that? So we're going to take this and crumble it up. It's stale. Probably do better than the light bread. This is some, just some stale bread. Okay, we making a meatloaf. We ain't added the ketchup yet. All right, I don't even know what pan I'm gonna put it in, but I'm gonna get it worked up real good. Okay, now that did good. I might want to use it over the bread, cause the bread ain't that stale. Okay, so that was some old hamburger buns that's going bad because they was cheap. They didn't have a first name or a last name. All right, you will, Mother Joyce Anderson Journey. I love you. So look, I'm going to be baking, but I have to tell you what I do have available is lemon squares and brownies. That's all I have available. The leftover cakes that I had, that I got in the freezer, they good. They just been in the freezer. Your birthday, when is your birthday, Erica? Bless Mom. Hey, Kim Minton. So what you want to do is get you enough bread and stuff to hold it. All right? You can bake it any way you want to. Again, I got breadcrumbs in here. I got eggs, I got onions, and I've got Dale seasoning, A1. I got the meatloaf packet by McCormick, and I got Lipton onion beef soup packet. All right. Now I'm gonna add me some ketchup. I work all this together, and I'm gonna put some ketchup on the outside. Now, if you wanted to just make a loaf, that's why it's called meatloaf. You can just make a loaf. All right? Remember, you can make your loaf. You can turn it and put brown gravy on top. Once you make your loaf, you can add on top what you want to. Okay? It's called a loaf. And some people, did y'all know the restaurants, they'll make a meatloaf? All right? And depending, like if you eat meatloaf at Cracker Barrel, they're going to cut it out. It's going to be cold. They cut the loaf. They cut the loaf and they put it on the griddle and they warm it up. So if you tell them you want ketchup, if you want meatloaf with ketchup, they're going to have the ketchup. If you want meatloaf with gravy, they're going to pour the gravy over it. Okay? Hey, y'all, come on in, everybody. So now we're going to add some ketchup in here. You can make your loaf. What you want to add on top of it is your business. Okay? So we already got the eggs in here. We got the breadcrumbs and all the other stuff I told y'all. So I'm just going to start working this together. Onions, everything green. We got all of that in here. It ain't complicated. And you don't have to use 15, 11 eggs either. That get on my nerves. I don't know where that concept come from. A couple of eggs. If you already using bread, meatloaf, ground beef stay together anyway. So you don't have to go crazy. You really don't have to go crazy. But if that's how you've been taught, that's how you've been taught. I'm not an egg person. I do put eggs in my macaroni and cheese, but you don't have to have a lot of them. I don't like pies that taste eggy. I just don't like the eggy. I don't like the eggy. I'm going to add a little more breadcrumb. And you can feel it and you can tell what you need. And you don't want to dry your loaf out. You want to keep it moist. You don't want to dry it out. And I'll show you what I'm working with. Now, what you choose to put on it, do I have to put eggs? You do not have to put eggs in your meatloaf if you don't want it. Because the bread, the meat by itself, it's going to stay together. The egg is just a binder. So if you don't like eggs, you can't taste it. You can't taste the egg in here. But if you just really can't stand eggs to that point, you don't have to add it. It's a meat loaf. It's a loaf. Y'all under weather advisory for what? Oh, for a tornado? Where do you live? I know we got weird weather. We're gonna go through a Arctic freeze right before Christmas. It's supposed to turn back cold. It's gonna be 70 degrees Wednesday, and it's supposed to turn right back cold. I think we're gonna get snow. We're gonna mess around and get some serious snow. All right? Work that up in there real good. My package was delivered today. You send it here, you send it to the post. I go to the post office. I'll get over there. Yeah, you can add eggs. You don't have to add a lot of them. And you can omit them if you don't want them. You don't have to have all that. You got bread. All right? You work them bread and the breadcrumbs in there. That'll be enough. You don't have to have but a couple. Listen, I put 2 eggs in all this ground beef. I put only 2 eggs. That lets you know. And you're going to put this, if you got loaf pans, put it in loaf pans. And you can make your loaf up and put it in the freezer. And the next time, if you want to put gravy over it, it doesn't matter. She don't have to use eggs, period. Egg whites, egg nothing. You don't have to use it. Oh, we're going to get some snow. What is smoke behind you? Those are green beans. I told it earlier. You might have not been on here. I got green beans. And now we finna get ready. When we loaf this up, I'm finna go get my pans. So when we loaf this up, am I talking loud to y'all? Feel like I'm talking so loud. But when we loaf this up, I can split my loaf. Half of my loaf, I can do it and pour gravy over it. And the other half, I can pour ketchup over it. I can take my loaf, I can bake both of my loaves and put them in the freezer. You replying. Thank you, whoever gave me star. So I got 2 loaves right here. That's 1 loaf. That's 1. And here's another. You see what I'm saying? Which you get what I'm saying. So you can either put it, some of us don't use a loaf pan, but if you use a loaf pan, then you just put it in your loaf pan, but make sure you don't overfill it because it's going to have grease in it and it's going to spill over. So if you were prepping, because just say you had to have surgery, yeah, you can put barbecue sauce on it if you want to. I don't put barbecue sauce in mine because I use A1 Dale and ketchup. But to each his own. My family ain't never been big on indoor barbecue. I mean, like, you can put, you know, cooking is up to you. But I'm just telling you, like, when some people even make pies, they put so many eggs in them pies. Why you put so many eggs in them sweet potato pies, I don't know. Why are you egging that pie out? You can use eggs in macaroni. But why do you put so many eggs in macaroni? Macaroni is a starch. It don't require 15 to 11 eggs. There's no purpose behind it other than it's going to make your macaroni taste eggy. But if you used to that, ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't a thing wrong with it because you used to it. That's the way you've been raised. Like you take Willie, Cater My Way with Willie J. He used 20-something eggs in his big macaroni and cheese. That's how his granny taught him. So ain't nothing wrong with it. Deacon Calvin John, you ain't even called me. Yes, you can freeze it raw or you can freeze it cooked. It doesn't matter. Once you freeze it, you can freeze it. Don't you freeze ground beef? Do y'all freeze y'all ground beef? So why you can't freeze it? No, I don't put bacon wrapped around mine. We don't eat ours like that. See, I'm not going to do that on here and then I'm stuck with something that my family don't like to eat. So I can't do it that way. Groceries is too high. Listen, there's so many. Yes, I'll go back and show you what I used again. Okay, I'll get me another set of gloves because I don't want to touch everything. Okay, here we go. I used a Lipton onion soup packet. I used a meatloaf by McCormick's. This is a game changer. I used my Everything Green by Mama T. That's me. I use bell peppers. I use onions. You must be on block, Deacon Calvin, because I ain't seen no call. I use A1 ketchup. I use Dale. I use stale bread, whatever kind of stale bread you want it. And breadcrumbs. I didn't use no salt because my stuff got salt in it. I used black pepper and I used a couple of eggs. Just 2, okay? So that's what I used. All right? Now, if you want to go and add barbecue sauce, you can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little brown sugar and I'm going to sprinkle it on top of my ketchup. I'm not going to work the brown sugar into my meatloaf. I'm only going to use it for the sauce, okay? Now, for me, I could make a tomato sauce. My husband don't like it. I like the tomato sauce. I mean, I like when you can take and doctor it up, but he don't like it. So I take brown sugar and mix it in my ketchup that I'm going to pour on top. All right? And let it cook that way. Now, if you are from North Carolina, you probably cook with a lot of sugar. Because I notice people from North Carolina, they always adding sugar. They add sugar in their macaroni and cheese. They add sugar in their greens. They add sugar in almost everything. It depends on where you're from and what you're used to. Just like people from Mississippi or people from Louisiana, they eat spaghetti noodles. They make their macaroni and cheese with spaghetti noodles. We don't. We use pork noodles or, you know, so ain't nothing wrong with it. Hold on, let me see what y'all saying. I got my glasses over here. But ain't nothing wrong. That's what I'm saying. That's why we separate according to where we're from, because we don't do macaroni noodles for our spaghetti. But when I see that spaghetti, it look good and cheesy. So, would you try it? I would try it. I just need to get a recipe because we don't, unless I do the same recipe, but I'm just switching noodles. And I know, you know, like Louisiana people, they Cajun people. So they're going to have a little kick and a little spice to their stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong at all. Baby. Woo-wee, baby. Now you talking now, baby. But I'm going to take and find me a good sized pan. think I'm gonna do. Hold on, y'all. I'll be back over here. I think I want this. It's always at the bottom. Whatever you want on all you be at the bottom. There. That still don't look like it. Hold on, y'all. Let me wipe this out. Go ahead and spray your dish. I'm gonna make a big meatloaf, and whatever I don't use, I'm gonna put it in the freezer. All right, we got the oven set. I got my oven on 350. I'm gonna take my loaf. Got 2 loaves. Cause my husband loves meatloaf. And he'll make meatloaf sandwiches. So I'm gonna take my loaf and form it in this pan. That's why I got this one. So that I could stuff it in here. I couldn't find the one I actually thought I was looking for. But you know, the Lord works in mysterious ways. So the way I see this is the one I was supposed to have. All right, so I'm going to take this, get it done, each corner done, shape it up. Now you notice I do like to use gloves when I make this. All right. But I took the gloves off dealing with y'all. Contrary behinds. Yes, you can use turkey ground beef. You can use chicken. For those that don't eat red meat, you certainly can. And turkey, when you get used to turkey, you'll like it. Yes, you can make your meatloaf sandwich. You ain't never had a meatloaf sandwich? Yes, a meatloaf sandwich. Just like you can make a turkey and dressing sandwich. All right? Just like that. Okay, now let me go over here. I'll clean up as I go, but let me go over here real quick and get me another little small bowl so we can do some brown sugar and ketchup and pour it on top. Hold on 1 second. Christmas already gone, ain't it? It's gonna come and went. We're not getting together this year due to so many people having colds and sick. Once you report tomorrow you're sick, I don't care if you coming or not, everybody in the family is sick. And you know, if we feel better come January, her birthday, we'll get together again. You know, it's just the older you get, it's just hard to get together. You would think it would be easier, but when you're young and you first get married and move out, you be coming home so quick. And the older you get, it's just hard to get together with your siblings. So mama counts and Christmas, which make it easy on me because now I ain't got a cookbook for me, my foe, and none of. And my Christmas dinner is going to be steak and baked potato, green beans, some dinner rolls, broccoli and cheese for son. That's what my that's what my Christmas meal going to be. Let me get the brown sugar, baby. I'm going to just get me some brown sugar. Simple and easy. And I'm just going to sweeten this upper crust with some brown sugar. You can use dark brown if you want to. Just depending on, brown sugar, whether it's dark or light, it's just cooked sugar. That's all it is. You can make your own brown sugar. What was that? Huh? When I told Mama Jean, yes, Trico, she canceled. Now we're going to add, we got our brown sugar. We're going to add some ketchup. And you have to use all your ketchup. You really do. You know how it goes. It's going to cook a little bit. Cook it down. And I just stir mine up. I just stir it up in the ketchup. Stir it up in the ketchup. And sometimes I don't do this at all. Sometimes I just sprinkle it. Just depends on my mood. All it's doing is sweetening this ketchup up. That's it. So if you don't have to, well, you pull the grease off. If see, that's the thing. Not all ground beef leave a lot of grease. You can use 90% ground beef and you won't have a lot of grease. I use 90 or 80. I don't use 75. If you use 75, you're going to have a lot of grease. And Avery loved meatloaf too. And you can put this on the stove if you want to. But it depends on the percentage of your ground beef. That will determine how much grease you accumulate. And then if you do get a lot, pour it off. I don't know, baby. You have to go ask somebody else trying to cook a healthier version. The only healthier version you're going to have, and that's not disrespect for asking, it's how you ask it. Because you know one thing I learned about people, I don't mind nobody asking me if it's a healthier version of cooking. But you can use ground turkey. You can even use ground chicken. That's your healthiest route. But this is what I tell people. It's how you ask. Because I haven't ate all day. And people just assume everybody big is enjoying food. Versus you asking, oh, you're on steroids? Oh, you take a lot of medications that's loaded with steroids? You get steroid shots? You on, prednisone? But the healthiest thing sometimes is if you can't have it, leave it alone. That's what I say about cake. I can't tell you what to do with no cake. Because even if I tell you to use Splenda in your cake, or monk fruit, if the doctor say your diabetes is real bad, you don't need nothing like that, then you don't need to mess with it. Go ahead and add that on there. It's all about the respect that people do when they ask their question. It ain't that you can't ask a question. It's just the fact that when I was first come on here, people just was mean and nasty during the pandemic. Just picking at folks for no reason. Everybody don't season the same way. Everybody don't eat the same way. And everybody big ain't in love with food. I am not in love with food. And my blood work showed that I'm not in love with food. But I have to take medicine. That's why I'm trying to get a stimulator in my back. I don't like rice pudding. I know how to make it though. I don't eat it. There's some things I know how to cook I don't like. For instance, I don't like black-eyed peas. I like field peas, crowder peas, all them. I don't like black-eyed peas. But I know how to cook black-eyed peas. You cook them the same way you do the other ones. And you just let this cook now. What you do, if you want to, you can start this off, cover it up so that your ketchup don't get dark. And then close to the end, you can uncover it. It's still gonna cook. So I ain't gotta sprinkle nothing. I don't sprinkle no breadcrumbs on top. I don't do none of that. All right? That's my meatloaf. Now you gotta cook it, right? Okay. So now we're gonna put it in the oven. And if I don't want my I can leave it uncovered, or you can cover it up. Again, if you leave it uncovered, your ketchup is gonna cook fast and it's gonna be really dark. But if you cover it up, yeah, I did. I put ketchup in the base of it. You just have to go hit replay. I already said that, like, they watched me do it. I put ketchup on the inside too. Yes, I did. Meatloaf is probably a general, it's easy. It really is hard to mess it up. It's hard to mess it up. Cooking ain't complicated. Some people gonna learn how to cook late in life because they didn't want to cook, but it ain't complicated. Let's turn them green beans all the way down. Them green beans is canned green beans, so they done. Field peas don't take long to cook at all. You put too much water in them, you're going to overcook them, and they're going to be mushy. Peas are not supposed to be mushy. All right, let me get this in the oven, and we're going to peel some potatoes. All right, at this time, if you want to throw some potatoes in your green beans, now's the time. The last 5 minutes on the cook. You put your some potatoes on it. If you cooking out of a can, your stuff already cooked. All right, so now we're going to peel these potatoes so we can get them on. So we got green beans. I'm putting all this stuff back up that I put in my meatloaf. We got green beans, meatloaf, and now I'm gonna peel potatoes. No, I don't like mushy peas, but sometimes people, even canned food, they overdo it. You don't have to overdo canned food. It's already pre-cooked for you. And yesterday when we were talking, I did not say Memphis did not have good food. Anytime you got a visitor in your town, we don't always get to find the best restaurants. I said I had not had anything. When I was there, I wasn't impressed. But I didn't get to go to, nobody told me, Tracy, come over here and eat at this restaurant. You understand? So the girl got mad, but you can't get mad because I ain't been everywhere to eat. Right? I want another knife. I haven't been everywhere to eat. I can only tell you when I was visiting, you know, that's just like some people, they like sweetie pies and some don't. Is Sweetie Pie still open? Because I know she in her 80s now. No, I don't like mushy peas. And some people cook their peas like they cooking pinto bean. And you can cook them too long. Let me show y'all what I'm doing. I keep water when I peel. I rinse my potatoes off. And I keep water. All right, on the side. How long do you cook your meatloaf? Honey, I don't. Like Tabitha Brown say, I cook by the Spirit. Honey, I cook, you got to first start smelling your food. That's number one. You're going to have to first start smelling it. Then you're going to go in there and you're going to check it. So I can't tell you if that meatloaf going to be in there 45 minutes or an hour. But I know it won't be in there less than that. I can tell you that much. I don't cook no 20-minute meatloaf. So you know that meatloaf is gonna be close to an hour. You know. But you'll know when it's done. I just think, I mean, like, if I come to your town, you have to tell me. Just like if you come here, I'll tell you where to eat. That don't mean they got bad food. I just didn't, when going to the Holy Convocation, maybe it's just where we at. We don't get, you know, it wasn't no good. I don't know. I believe you got to smell your food. Some stuff you got to smell. You start smelling them pies in the oven. You start smelling that bread. You start smelling that cornbread. You know when you start smelling your food, you getting close to it being ready. No, I'm making mashed potatoes. No, sweetie pies is no longer in business. Oh, okay. I knew she didn't, after Tim did what he did, she didn't have no one to keep running it. I think her sisters could have, but her sisters is just as old as she is. But you know what? That lady, I hate to say it, she might as well leave her money to her nephew and, yes, Deacon Calvin, City Wings, they love City Wings. You might as well leave. See, where I'm from, I have to take my people out of town. Like when I took Jai out to eat, I took her out of town. Because we don't have a lot where I live. You know, I'm not in the city. I don't have the restaurants Atlanta got. You got to get hooked up. I'm going to tell you something too. Y'all may not believe me, but the best restaurants is in the country and in the hood. What do I mean? You get you a country white woman. She can cook. And black. Same way you go to the hood in Atlanta, baby, you gonna eat. And they ain't gonna short you either. You gonna get your portion. Your lot shall be a lot. My mama taught me how to cook and she's still alive. And my granny. My granny worked, as we used to say, she worked for the white people. That's how we said it. She wasn't a maid. We just said she worked for the white person because she did a combination of things. She was a cook, babysitter, and she cleaned house. And she kept a elderly white lady that had mental problems. I can't tell you what they give. Now, we got Michelin star restaurants in Atlanta. It's all where you go. See, I don't get offended because I can't tell you what they basing it on. One thing I don't let nobody do, if you can't cook, you ain't going to judge my food. Exactly as some people that visit here in Atlanta say the food isn't good, and a lot of the food critics give Atlanta restaurants a bad rep. But you have to know where to go. You got to know where you go. And another thing, some of the restaurants they go to are not 5-star restaurants. It all depends. But if you can't get in the kitchen and show me what I'm doing wrong, you ain't going to judge me. I'm sorry. That's your taste buds. That's how I feel. I can come to Louisiana and I know they got some good food because I've heard about it. But I don't like spices. And if I go somewhere and people got my stuff too spicy, I'll tell you it's good. Like we ate at a restaurant. It was a man's restaurant in Texas. He was from Louisiana and he is an ex-football player. His food was good. The crunch on it was good. The gravy, the weight of the gravy and how he made the gravy was good. I'm just not used to having Cajun seasoning in my stuff. His gravy was too hot. Was the gravy good? Yes. The weight of the gravy was good. It was the right weight. It was not heavy. It wasn't lumpy. His mashed potatoes was on point. They just put spice in their stuff. The pork chop was good. But I just couldn't get into a whole lot of the spice on the stuff. Oh, Kenny, I'm so sorry. Your grandmother passed. My grandma died back in September. Yeah, baby, my condolences. And I know it's hard to keep the family together, especially if you're the matriarch. But now, that don't mean the food ain't good. Oh, like Danielle turned me on to boudin balls. I wasn't fond of the boudin, but the balls I liked. Because they were round and they were crunchy. But the boudins in the casing, I didn't like it. I don't like soggy rice. But I got to get used to it. I could see why it's good. You know, because the way I do my dirty rice, I use the pudding like they do. But you get what I'm saying? But I also add sausage in mine to give it that extra The son won't eat nobody dirty rice but mine. But where we live, we don't do boudin ball. Just like where we live, we do Brunswick stew. We do Brunswick stew. We don't make a lot of seafood stuff where I live. I don't like spicy, but that don't mean that food wasn't good. I'm telling y'all that food was good. It just was spicy. But if you can't cook and you call yourself a food critic, I respect the food critics that went to school to learn how to judge, just like how people go to school to do the wine tasting. Hold on, let me get this person off here. Let's go ahead and ban and block this John guy. He getting on everybody's nerve. Okay. Y'all know not to accept no friends request. I like Eddie went to the store for me and he got these, but I like the Yukon Gold potatoes, but it don't really matter. He had gotten Idaho potatoes. Mashed potatoes is mashed potatoes. And because I like my mashed potatoes thick, I use a lot of potatoes. I don't like people going around trying to tell folks what they doing and it's just your taste bud. You gotta have went to some type of schooling to teach you how to judge certain things. And some stuff people don't like because they're not accustomed. I'm not accustomed to spices. Like where we live, we don't put Cajun seasonings in our gravy. So how can I sit around here and judge Louisiana because they spice their gravy up? I judge if the gravy is good. The gravy was good. It had the right weight on it and everything. I just don't do spice. But if you can't cook, you can't peel a potato, you're not going to tell me about nothing. I'm sorry. People getting paid right now on social media that can't cook. Y'all going around there letting folks judge you, sit in the car, and when you be like, well, where your restaurant? How you going to judge this food? What are you basing it on? What are your stats? So now, see, I keep water. Because if you don't put your water, if you don't put your potatoes, sweet potatoes or white potatoes, always keep water. Rinse your potatoes off. These going to be rinsed again. Always keep you water so that your potatoes do not turn brown. A lot of people peel all their potatoes and they start getting black marks on them because it's the dirt off of the potato and off of your hand touching it. So these are going to be boiled. They're going to be mashed potatoes, but I still cut them in half so they can cook faster. They won't turn brown if you put them in water. I'm going to rinse these again. This is not the water I'm going to boil them in. But if you can't cook, you ain't going to judge my food. I'm sorry. Get in the kitchen and show me what I'm doing wrong. If you can't show me and you sitting just somewhere judging people's food, I'm sorry. That's a matter of an opinion. You couldn't go, and they wouldn't hire you to judge a Michelin, give you a Michelin star for judging nobody. Because they'll be wanting to get your credentials on it. That's just you. That's one person eating. I'm not paying for nobody to travel around the world to tell me what no food tastes like. I'm sorry. If you gonna do this, you need to get yourself around the world. I'm not finna pay for you to go to nowhere. What good is it gonna do me? I can't taste it. How you gonna tell me to pay for you to go somewhere to eat and I can't taste it? Did you warm the water? You don't have to warm the water. This is cold water. They finna be rinsed. They finna be mashed potatoes. This is just to keep your potatoes from being brown. Or same way with your sweet potatoes. Them black marks that be on them, when you see them, when people be done brought you the sweet potatoes to church, it's because, one, they didn't rinse the potato off. And number two, their hands kept touching it. And they let the air hit it once they peel it. You know, sweet potatoes and potatoes come out of dirt. Have you ever seen a tomato grow on a sweet potato vine? Well, you got to dig them out the ground. And so they were instantly, soon as the air hit them, they would get black marks, brown marks on them. So if you don't have no water, that's what's going to happen. Now, what I'm going to do now, this is just regular cold water. I'm going to go ranch these. Not rinse them, but ranch them. Yes, I love to help. I've been watching movies since I've been sick. I ain't had no other choice. I've been in the bed. And I'm going to tell you something. I thank God, because if it wasn't for my husband, I just still... people know you're sick and they don't check up on you. They don't care. You'll be dead by the time family check up on you nowadays. Dead and crispy and cold and hard. You have to go on Facebook and look in the funeral home. People be finna have the funeral the next day. I had somebody I didn't know had passed away. By the time I found out, they had already had the funeral. So now I'm finna go wrench these off. And we're going to put them on. And we're going to boil them. Don't ask me how long. Use your fork and stick in your potato. Potatoes can take 10 to 15 minutes to boil, depending on the type you use. If you use Yukon Golds, they're going to take a good 10 minutes because they're already a soft potato. I'm using Idaho. Idaho potatoes are a little harder than Yukon Golds, so they're going to take probably a good 15 minutes to boil. Just depends. You got to give the boil time to boil. I'm putting these on cold water, so what does that mean? I got to give it time to heat up, right? I'm not going to go and think in 10 minutes these going to be ready. No, it's after they start boiling. Let me go wrench these out. Hold on. Today I just feel like talking, like my granny. Put you some more water. I'm gonna rinse them off. I got a pot filler. Thank God for my pot filler. I'm gonna go over here and get a pot because I don't have to tote nothing heavy no more. Let me get me a bowler, a big boiler. You know, I have to watch my husband. He be buying my stuff. He do enough. My husband do enough for me to say, kind sir, kind ma'am, stay out my kitchen. And then, I'm not going to boil mine in this. But if you get a high enough boiler, you could boil them. But I use this to drain. Right? So, hold on. Let me wrench my boiler. So, I'm just going to break these. I see one I didn't them on. And I'm going to shake a little salt. Because they don't come seasoned. And we're going to add some water. I use my pot filler to fill it up. I turn it around. Y'all know what a pot filler do. Half of y'all got them in y'all high. See, and I don't have to tote nothing. I just fill it up. And most new homes have pot fillers. And it's very helpful. Move it on back and turn it on. And that's how you're going to start that off. I'm going to give it a little stir. And my green beans are ready. Because, like I said, they was already ready. Get my little thing I use it in. Got the meatloaf. And I got the green bean. They ready. Then I'm finna start on these. Okay? So, I have done. So now I'm going to do is catch up my little dishes. The meatloaf is in the oven. I use a dump bag. All my peelings from my potatoes is in these bags. You got to learn how to work smarter. When you got to clean up behind yourself and you got a bad hip, a bad back, that's how you do it. What's going on? Somebody died, you said? What did you say? Special report, 5 people dead, at least 5 injured in Madison, Wisconsin school shooting. Oh my God. I pray every morning for Avery. I didn't put no fat back or nothing in these green beans. Let me explain something to y'all. If I was cooking fresh green beans, or if I'm a fat back eater, I would start my fat back or anything way before I put my canned green beans in. If you gonna cook fresh green beans, let me help you out. You need to season your water. How do you season your water? Number 1, you add a little salt in there. That's it. The next thing is you rinse your meat. And then you put the meat on first. When you see that water turn white and foamy, give it a good stir. You are seasoning your water. If you want meat in your green beans out the can, start boiling your meat way before you put them green beans in there. Because them green beans are done. And they've been blanched. They've been blanched with salt water, sea salt, but they already done. Okay? That's important. Now, if they fresh green bean, after you season, you go ahead and put them in. Because it takes longer to cook fresh green beans. The next thing is a fresh green bean does not taste like a canned green bean. You're going to cook the life out your green bean, trying to make that green bean taste like that canned green bean. That's why a lot of you people that cook fresh green beans, they're withered. They look like I do. They look like they got arthritis. They look like they done been shrunk like me. You shrink them down so much because you done overcooked them. No, you don't have to put garlic or onions in when you seasoning the water. You don't have to put that in just to get the meat done and to turn the water with a white foam. Y'all already know that. We learned that from our grandparents when we used to sit on the porch, pop green beans, and pop the bean out of it. That's why I love field peas. It's like eating a green bean and eating the pea inside the green bean. feel peace. That's why they got the green bean to them. All right. That was just a little moment. Like they say, give me just one moment in time. You seasoning your water. That's all. But see, you can't, you got to understand the difference. Some of y'all, you just cook the life out of your stuff. It just be too long. You cook, the green bean ain't supposed to look like Tracy. It ain't supposed to be like how my panties keep rolling down my stomach right now. That's how y'all green beans look. Like how my panties, like right now I need to pull my panties right back up. Hold on. Let me pull this dress up. I need to pull my panties up right over my stomach again. Why? Because the weight of my stomach is heavier than these panties. Somebody need to come get these panties. They ain't working. I done found another little pair of panties. So I had to pull them up, back up over my stomach. That's how y'all do y'all green beans. It ain't hard. Now I think tonight I might make some thin drop biscuits. They're not going to be heavy. I don't use nothing. I use this stuff by, I can't tell you the name of it. It's blue. Rejuvenate something I use. I'll order it. I just moisturize. I should have came out with a hairline because I did hair for 30 years and I know how to grow some hair. I can tell you, I know about chemistry. I know about pH balances. I know about anatomy and physiology. I know that. I took it. Baby, these panties is about to be tired of me. And the next time I go pee and they roll down around my ankles, when I come back on live, I'm not going to have a little draw. I just want everybody to know. And you can say too much information, TMI. Well, TMI, IMT, HIJK, LM or P. As my cousin used to say, honey, H&M, honey. H&M. See, I had a cousin that was retarded, right? And he couldn't spell. And he used to come and tell my mama, he used to tell her, honey, he used to use levels like he was really spelling something. He let her know, honey, look at her H&M coming over, M&M, PK, P. And we be like, oh, really? Look at her, her S and R. He couldn't spell sorry real English. Here come her S and R with her PK, that's kid. He just had to figure it out. We didn't read the same. He was trying to spell and whisper, talk about people. See, slow people talk about folks too. So he was listed as retarded, you know. And he'd be like, you know, her S&R, PKM. I told her. I said, PKTTYN, Aubrey. My mama be like, you did. I got her told, honey. Look out. I ain't gonna say nothing. RT crazy. I be like, Lord. Just like Avery. Every time I turn around, Avery gonna have the nerve to say, look at you, you can't even spell it. I be like, Avery, now you in sped. I know you ain't gonna keep challenging people to spell stuff, Avery, when you in sped. I do not use this dishwasher. Let me show you something. This dishwasher is brand new. Look, I do not know how to use no dishwasher. Leave me alone. I never used it. It's brand new. Look, it's spanking brand new. I don't use no dishwasher. I don't know. I ain't a word Eddie want to try to change my life. He's not going to change me, oh God. Make me more like you. Change me, oh God. Wash me through and through. He ain't going to do it. Create a clean heart so that I may worship you. No, he's not going to do that to me. I don't get off on that stuff. It's too fancy. Fancy like Applebee's on a date night with a Bourbon Street shake and an Oreo with a little cream on top too. Strawberry shake. I got some booty like Maddie and the back. It's kicking in the back. All day long with the Alabama. That's why I do it like a Fancy like, fancy like, But he can stop all that, this fancy stuff in this kitchen. This kitchen all right. I don't got to have all that. We could have saved a couple of $100. He could have put me, I'm going to take that out and put another deep drawer in there. You wish you had a dishwasher? Why? I don't think they be clean. My mind tell me they ain't clean. I don't know. He keep telling me. Y'all, let me show y'all something. So the other day I ordered some. Look at this. Ain't nothing like it used to be. I ordered Avery some Red Lobster. Y'all, that's the biscuits. We didn't even eat them. They don't look like they used to. And they don't feel. I might just warm these up. I don't know. I was going to make some real thin biscuits. Have y'all ever had thin biscuits? They was going to be this high. I was going to make them that high. I wish I had some honey butter. Because we're going to mash those taters up. I wish I had some honey butter to rub over the thin biscuits. I'm getting ready to make them. Yeah, he trying to make me fancy. I don't need no dishwasher. My kids was my dishwasher. I can't sing like everybody, but I got the anointing on me. I felt that song. It stirred up the gift in me. I'm finna turn around and go over here and put what I done up before I start on something else. I'm gonna make some thin biscuits. They ain't gonna be thick at all, so they ain't gonna cook long. I think I got some buttermilk. Let me tell you something. Ain't nothing wrong with no heavy whipping cream biscuits. I'm a buttermilk biscuit. I can tell you what you miss with heavy whipping cream. You got fat, you're going to get a fluffy biscuit. It's going to take a little bit longer than cook. It ain't going to cook in 10 minutes. It ain't going to cook. I don't care if your oven is on 500. Those biscuits cook longer because they're thicker. It's going to take longer. And you can cook heavy whipping cream biscuits. You can cook them on a lower temperature because it's going to take a little bit longer to cook them. Whereas if you cook a regular biscuit, you can cook it on 450 to 500. But a heavy whipping cream biscuit got more fat base. Remember I told y'all about y'all fat base many years ago when I came on 4 years ago? But I love, you can make biscuits with canned milk. I've made them with canned milk, water. You can fry biscuits. They used to do them on top of the stove like that. I told you if you get canned milk, you straight. Canned milk was fed to babies. You can make them with sour cream. You can make biscuits with sweet milk, regular whole milk, as y'all say. But I like a buttermilk biscuit. I was raised on one. And the flavor of that buttermilk, I like that better. So, hey, Jenny Girl's Kitchen. I like that better. But I don't let people critique me that can't cook. I don't care what. I don't care how many ratings you got. I don't care what. You can call yourself a food critic. But if you ain't went to school, you're not going to judge me. And if you can't get in here and show me a more excellent way, if you can't get in here and cook, like some men get in here and cook, some women get in here and cook, if you just going around eating in cars and eating here and eating there, And if I can't go on no trip, I'm not finna pay for you to go on no trip. I'm not finna pay you to tell me what nothing tastes like. I have to take a trip over there myself. That's the only way I'm gonna know. You telling me is your taste bud. I like buttermilk, yeah. And I don't have any. I thought I did, but I don't. I could make them with sweet milk and sour cream, but I thought I had some buttermilk. Because I wanted them to be like a dinner roll. So, I don't know. I have to, it won't take long to cook them, so I have to run to the store. I'm just putting my stuff up. And the rest of the stuff is cooking. I'm going to be putting my stuff together because Deacon Calvin don't want to help me. But May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Deacon Calvin is going to make sure I can keep registration low. Or maybe like just $50, hopefully, and not $75. I don't even want $100. I'm going to have a birthday celebration. It's going to be a 3-day conference. All right. I got the name of the conference. I'm going to put it on the flyer. And it's the thing I would like to do for my birthday. So the first night of my conference is going to be a musical. All right. We're going to sing Heaven Down. And we're going quartet style as well as choir style. The second day is going to be a conference. We're going to have a brunch where we're going to eat and we're going to sit back and enjoy each other. All right? And the third day, we're going to go to church together. You can add vinegar into your regular milk, let it sit a few minutes, and you have buttermilk. You certainly can. And you also can incorporate some sour cream. I have a cake, a chocolate cake I call my dump cake. And I take it and I do that. I use regular milk and I add a teaspoon of vinegar in it. But it's still not enough fat base. I hope that makes sense. You can clutter the milk up. But if I only got reduced or milk, I need heavy. I can do it. I can do it. I probably can take some regular milk, add some vinegar to it, add a little heavy whipping cream in there and create it. And pray that I got enough fat base, if that make any sense, because you got to have fat base. But I also can get on the phone and call and just tell Queen to go by the store and pick me up some, because it won't take long to cook them. They're going to be thin. And they're going to just have a little hump on them. All right? So it's not going to take long. Miss Dolores, I'm trying to get there. Miss Dolores Bennett, are you the Dolores that ordered a cake for me? I'm trying to make sure. Because I owe a lady named Dolores. I'm going to go check the email anyway. But I owe a lady Dolores. I told her I was going to send her another cake. And I got sick. I got to do one for Laura Jones. And she already know. And Pamela Botts know. I've been sick. Whatever I had, it lasted. And I still got a little cold. But at one point, I was just completely foggy. But you just have to let me know if that's you. So if y'all want to come to it, I want to make it where you can buy your plane ticket. You can go ahead and start looking to see how much plane tickets is. And you can get your hotel rooms. No, ma'am. Okay. It is a Dolores Iola cake. I'll find her. I got her email with a blue star. I don't know where I should start on that. The first Noel, the angels did sing. You have to give me the words, then I sing it. I got some honey. This stuff will mess you up. I've been sick for 2 weeks. Listen, it's still in there, but I have a a Buterol pump. I've been on a Z-Pack. All that kind of stuff. So I didn't get that other cake away, but I'm going to throw it away. I got it right here. The other one is in the freezer, but the one I cut, we don't eat cake. And the one I cut is sitting over here. But I thought about it. You still sick. You don't want to cut this cake. I'm going to put this cake in the trash. I thought about it. We ain't going to eat it. So today, it goes in the trash.